world is going to change for us in this year and next year. I think our virtual teaching and virtual classes, and there's going to be more of a want and need for more digital content. So what I've done is I sent all of you earlier today a link to this Google Drive, and it's a folder within the resource folder, and we'll be putting all kinds of stuff in there for you to use for social media posts and all kinds of things as we go through this process. But we've been asking for something to be able to collect portraits as well as other pictures when we realized that the photography companies were really not going to do anything to help with kids sending in portraits. And so there's been a lot of questions. The first one is, are we legally able to take pictures from outside of your portrait company? And the answer is absolutely. They do not control the pictures that are sent into your yearbook. So yes, you can take as many pictures as you want. And a kid can even replace the picture that they had with the photographer if they decided they didn't like it. So I'm going to run through what's called Yearbook Plus. And I'm going to today mostly work in the part that's about gathering portraits, because I feel like that's where most of us are going to start with this program, and then we'll move into the next part. So the whole point of this is how we could collect portraits in a safe and secure method. So you can imagine you send out just something that says, hey, send us your portrait. Well, little Johnny thinks he's funny, so he sends a picture in of Bruno Mars instead of himself, and you don't recognize it's Bruno Mars, and Bruno Mars becomes little Johnny in your yearbook. So we wanted to avoid that could happen. I mean, sometimes it's going to happen. I had it happen at Duke. This kid, freshman, sent in a picture, and I did not know it was not him, and he was from China, and apparently it was a Chinese musical star. And somebody actually caught it when we were proofing the pages, which cracked me up. So yes, people do that. So we wanted this to be a mobile experience, meaning we wanted this to be on their phone. Okay. It's not an app. It's not anything to do with that. It's just a website that they access through their phone. So here's how it works. It's really simple. You say, Kim, I want it. Fine. I sign you up. And then you will get a site. You will get an email. And Clark, you have been through this, so you correct me if I'm wrong on anything. And you'll get what's called an admin site, like where you log in. And that admin site is going to allow you to do all the 3 parts of Yearbook Plus. The part that I'm most interested in right now is the portrait portal. It's called My Portrait. There are 2 other parts. One is called My Life, and one is called Student Life. The My Life part is, if you're interested in that, students can upload 10 photos to show about themselves. And basically, if you hold your phone over their portrait, you can view their 10 pictures. So if you saw them playing lacrosse or eating a pizza or running a marathon, me, it would be eating a pizza of those 3 choices. So you would see their 10 photos, and they can switch out their photos until the portal closes. The other part is like student life or school life. And that one is where they send pictures, like if you had Queen of Hearts over at Broughton and kids had pictures from Queen of Hearts, they could upload those to school life. And then you could put what we call a trigger on a picture in your Queen of Hearts spread. And then all the pictures that you approve would be able to be seen digitally on Queen of Hearts. So 3 parts: portraits, the individual student life, and then the school life. And yes, you can download the school life pictures to use in your book if you absolutely wanted to use those.
Kim, can you talk a little bit about how that's different than Replay It and Erasma?
Erasma and Replay It, if you'll remember the Erasma app, this is not an app. This is just a website. So kids don't have to download an app. They don't have to, we don't have to deal with an outside source. Jostens is controlling all of this, and you're controlling all of this. It doesn't take up like space on their phones, and it's really fast, whereas Erasma was a pain. All right. Now, for the beginning, I'm going to pretend I'm a school when I sign up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle off school life and My Life, because the first thing I want to do is send it out to the kids to get their portraits. So what's going to happen, you're going to get your admin site. It's going to look like this. So this is for McDougall Middle School. And so for Thomas, I picked the red because that's his school color. You just click on the color and pick a color. And then you can upload your school mascot or any kind of symbol that looks like your school. This is important that you do, because then when the kid gets the email or the parent gets the email, it's coming from you guys, from the school. It just doesn't have like a random Jostens thing. All right. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go down to the bottom of your admin site. It's just one page. It's real simple. And you're going to pick the start date and the end date that you're accepting portraits. Okay. And then you can put in how many days before the deadline you want to send a reminder. So the site will actually send a reminder to your parents or your students saying, hey, you only got 6 more days to upload your school portrait. So you don't have to do anything once you do all that. Okay.
What is the suggested deadline?
Well, if you've got to flow them in your book, it takes 3 to 5 days for us to export them to your book. So I would say you probably want, a couple of weeks before you're going to turn them in. So you've got time to really look at them and review them. I mean, to me, 2 weeks should be plenty of time. But you can pick any date.
When is the deadline? I don't even know.
Well, that's going to depend on each school, like when your deadline is that you want to submit your portraits. So we'll go and we'll look at that after this. Okay. All right. Then I have to upload your list. Now, this is the part that is really important. They are suggesting that high schools use their student email list. Middle school and elementary can only use their parent list by law. The kids are not old enough, okay? Now, I just sent an email to Mike Wolf. Wolfie is the one who's in charge of all this at Jostens. And I said, how about if I do my student list and I don't get a lot of info back from them? Can I go back and upload my parent list and send it so I can try both options? You can't do both at the same time, he told me, but he's looking into, like, if you upload your student list and the kids don't respond, can you send it out to the parents to get the portraits? I'll let you know the answer to that when he gets back. Clark, I saw you uploaded your student list. I don't have student list. I do not have student emails. So Clark had to go and get her student emails.
I got it from my data manager. She pulled it in like 2 seconds and sent me an email. And I just told her I just needed name, grade, and email. And it was super easy to upload and
super easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I put a little video on the Google file to show y'all how to upload, but if you want to send it to me, Kristen or Sarah, we'll upload it for you. If you're going to use your parent emails, I probably already have them, okay, from the beginning of the year. So you just let me know and I can put the parent email instead of the student email. Remember, student emails for high schools or parent, but middle and elementary can only be the parent, okay? All right. Then you're going to send an email out and social media out. And you're going to send an email. And then this is real easy because if the emails are uploaded, we can send an email out pretty quickly and just say, hey, we need your school portrait. I suggest you write your own email. Let me go back. But I did put in the Google Drive, I did put emails for each level, like email to students, email to parents, email to elementary and middle school parents. You can copy it, take out what you don't want, but make it short and personal. I think those are too long. And then you're going to send an email out and it's going to give them the ybkplus.com. It's just real simple. It's just YBK and it's plus PLUS. You'll see, not the plus symbol, even though that's it. So ybkplus.com. And then this is what the kids and the parents are going to get. Okay. They're going to get an email on their phone, whatever. They're going to open it on their phone. And it's going to look like this.
Why does it have to be on their phone?
Because it's a mobile, it's set up for the mobile device. And you'll see why in just a minute. I guess I don't know if you can do it on the computer. I haven't tried.
And my kids opened it after I sorry, I just cut somebody off.
No, that's fine. You did do it on the computer, Clark?
My students opened it. Well, they didn't actually go through this whole process, but they were able to get to this page on their computer. They didn't click any further, but I would assume it would work on a computer.
It'll work. I just think the parents will probably like it better on their phone because I'm going to show you how they take the picture.
Yeah.
Which is they're going to take it with their phone.
when they did log on, that part at the top there where it says like yearbook plus Jostens High School, I already updated it and they're like, oh, look, it's our logo and stuff like that. So it's literally right there at the beginning.
Right. And so if you are just using the portrait part, it's just going to say my portrait. That's all it's going to say. It's not going to have the my year, my school life. All right. And so it's going to instruct them to go to this website, and then it's going to ask them for their email. Now, this is the important part because this is the verification. We all are used to two-step verifications now. We're used to it. Okay. So they put in the email that they got the notification from. Jostens sends them a 4-digit code. They type in the code, and then they can click on the My Portrait. Then it's going to take them to these screens. It's going to welcome them. It's going to tell them what kind of portrait they're looking for. It's going to show them how to click here to submit your portrait. They can choose something already on their phone, or they can take a photo. And the best part of it is it shows them how to crop the photo, like put your head in this circle. Okay. And then they hit bang and it submits it. Now, there is a new feature that was just released today. If you have 2 students in school that go to a Jostens school, like, with Yearbook Plus, they'll be able to toggle between the 2 students so they can at the same time put in the other student and upload to that school, or 2 in the same school if they have twins or triplets or whatever. So it's not just one, which that was good because we realized, we told them, hey, a lot of people have more than one kid in a school. You need to have it where they don't have to go back and do something again.
Kim, I'm monitoring the chat and I have a couple of clarifications. The first one is there a cost to the school for using this?
No.
Is there a cost to the kids or the parents?
No.
Good. All right. So no cost. There's nothing for you to worry about that. The only thing you have to do to get started is literally just tell Kim, I want to get started.
And then decide what emails you're going to use if you're a high school.
Yes. So the second question is about uploading photos for use. And I'm going to just try to clarify while I'm asking the question, but there's separate sections. What you're talking about right now is uploading a portrait for
the portrait section.
So each parent would upload one photo, and if they needed to switch to a second kid, they would upload a second photo for second kid. But if they only have one kid, they're only allowed to upload one photo.
That is correct.
So in the other portions of Yearbook Plus where they can upload like student life, they can upload more.
Right.
And those can be exported and used in the book.
They have to be downloaded and then re-uploaded right now. They're not connected to Yearbook Avenue, but yes, you can.
Okay. All right. So hopefully that irons out those questions. This is new to us too, guys. So we're kind of learning as we go, but I think that, let me know if that didn't answer all your questions.
Right. Monitoring. The really thing is, as students submit their portrait or parents submit the portrait, you can monitor them in real time. So what happens is you can reject. So your screen is going to look like this. And as kids, because it's going to upload their name and grade. So you don't even have to do any of that. So as a kid uploads their picture, if Paige Adams sends in her picture is going to appear right here. All right. Then you're going to get the option to reject her photo if it is not appropriate or not good enough, like it's too dark or, whatever. And you can send her, it sends back an email saying, we need another photo. All right. So this is what it's going to look like when people start uploading their photos. Now, they're all going to be different. And yes, they are. It's COVID. They're all going to be different. I wouldn't worry about it. I'll let Sarah show a screenshot in a little while of triangle math and science and just how cute the kiddos look with all the different things. So Clark, I remember you asking me, will it populate the pictures they had taken from Strawbridge or Life Touch into this part? And the answer is no.
There's no way to do it ourselves either.
So, well, what's going to happen is they're going to all come in after you finish your timeline and it's done. Then you're going to export your photos and they're going to show up in Yearbook Avenue. So you'll get a 9th grade group, however you tell us to do it, by grade, however.
Mhm.
At that point, we can decide, if we want to combine the Strawbridge pictures and these pictures that kids submit, or if you're going to keep them separate. Now, my advice straight up is combine them, make it a one school thing.
Mhm.
So once we export this, it goes to Yearbook Avenue. And then we can say, oh, there's 2 pictures of Stephen Becker, and I think you need to go ahead and make a decision. Are you going to use the one he had taken at school, or are you going to use the one that he submitted himself? You can do either one.
I think you should see the picture of Camden. I'm going to go get it because I want you to see the actual picture. Why don't you tell them about that really quick while I go get them? Because that might be why they want to choose the
Yes. So some kids hate their school portraits and they're going to want to upload something else. And so Sarah's little boy Camden came home with his kindergarten picture, and it is terrible. He looks like he is a serial killer. And so Sarah's like, I am not using that portrait in the yearbook. So she's going to upload another one. And so in your email, you might say, if you've already taken a portrait, you don't need to upload one. But if you want to replace it, feel free, but we're going to use the one you send in.
Can you see this?
I don't think he looks that bad, Sarah.
I think he
I
looks like he
can't
wants
see
to murder
anything.
somebody.
He just looks like he is very unhappy.
That's how most boys look in their school portraits.
And Camden was so cute, but nope, Camden's was horrible.
Right. And so I do believe there's some things we'll work out, like as we're going through this, but I do feel like this is a way for y'all to gather portraits. All of them have their heads sort of in the same shape and in the same cropped area. You don't have to tag them. Their name will automatically attach to it and their grade. And I just feel like it's such a big time saver. And here's my other thing. I never want to be told I didn't offer somebody the option, like the virtual students and the kids who couldn't come because of COVID. I want them to all have a chance. And this, even if they don't choose to do this, you at least offered it, right? And that's what half this battle is. Now, I know Clark is using the Yearbook Plus Student Life and the My Life. And so somewhere in your book, there's a QR code on your admin site you have to publish in your book. So when the kids, not for portraits, not just to do a portrait, but if you're using the My Life and the Student Life sections, you have to publish that QR code so that they can scan their phone over it when they get their book, and it opens up that option to them. And then when they hold it over a portrait, then basically they see those kids' 10 pictures. And then if they hold it over what we call the indicator on a photo, they can see all the other photos that you uploaded. And those QR codes are already created for you on your admin page. I put out in this lovely Google form here, I put for you the My Portrait user guide and the training guide for all of Yearbook Plus. Okay. I put how to upload the list. There's a couple of advertisements, like there's this one that basically just says we need your portraits.
I love that they're just in the world in general, we're already used to those 2-step verifications. So it's not anything out of the ordinary.
And Sarah made, while we were talking after the last one, Sarah made this cute little gift that just says, visit here, and it shows you how to do it, and it's done. So we'll have a lot of social media posts. I think if you send it out social media wise and tell them that they have to have their email, school email, if you're high school, to get into it. Here's the 3 emails that I put in there as well that were already pre-written.
For advisors who have already begun collecting portraits in another way, using Google Forms or using email or whatever, what would your advice be as far as using this? Do you use this as well as to subsidize? Do you just not do it this year and wait till next year? What would you do?
It depends on your success. Like if you have had little to no success with your Google form, I would end my Google form, because you can end the date of your Google form where it won't accept anymore, and send this out. That would be me.
Phil, I consider creating a senior group photo with just the Google Meet. I love that. Tom at McDougal said that he and his principal came up with a great plan for students that are missing. Instead of having a missing student section, just to have their little avatar like they have on Google Meets when they won't show their face in the camera.
I think that's brilliant and hilarious. I'm down for it.
We've been gathering our pictures via Google form already. And as far as my success, I've probably had between a quarter and a half that have uploaded. And you know that I'm a middle and high school, so I'm not a fan of giving or allowing half of them to be able to upload one way and half of them to be able to upload the other way.
Right.
Right now, what we have set up is that every student is able to upload, and then parents can, if their child chooses not to, or if they choose to do it for their child, but
Well,
every child has access. So my
Right.
big question is, do advisors have access to be able to upload what we've already gotten? So rather than asking the parent or the child to re-upload an image that they've already sent on a Google form, can I go in and upload the ones that have already been done and then offer it to anyone who has not yet done it?
I'm going to say no, but I'll ask Wolf. And the reason I'm going to say no is because of that authentication thing, is that you have to get an email and a code to be able to upload. But I will ask him and let you know if it's possible for advisors to add any photos in themselves. But I have a feeling that that is not what it's meant for. So, but it's a good question, Brittany. And
I just know that me personally, if I'm now going to have to do it in two different ways, I'd rather just stick to one. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I totally agree with you for sticking with that this year too. I know this is it's just been so hard, and a lot of schools have not had any success with getting portraits in.
Well, I think that's the thing too, is those of you who have really been on the ball and really been hitting this early, or if you're having a spring delivery and you've already had deadlines, you've already had to do this, it's a little bit different as opposed to those of you who have a later deadline, who have not had pictures taken yet at all. You know, everybody's kind of at a different stage.
Right. There's some who've had no picture days
and aren't going to have them.
Well, and we didn't. I just have had them uploading their own to a Google form, but I knew that I needed to get that done. So I've had it up for months.
Right. Well, I mean, we might skip this for you this year, but at the same time, if you get all of them, you say, hey, thank you for your participation. This is your last chance to do it, and you want to try it, we'll do it. One thing about it is you can take your emails that you want to send this to and only upload the emails of the parents that you want to send them in. Mm-hmm. Like we could take your email list and take out the ones that have already sent.
That's a good idea.
So they wouldn't get it. That's just an option.
We aren't so much off topic this time as we are focused in on a couple of very specific questions, and those questions may not relate to everyone, so I'm editing them out to keep this video shorter. But as always, if you have any questions, you can always just email us and ask. All right, back to the show.
But I mean, if you're nervous about the My Life or the school life part, just do the portraits if you want to do the portraits for right now. How about Clark and I run a test this week, see what happens. But I think sometimes we just have to let it go. Like, so I don't really care if everybody's picture is different in the portrait section. I don't really care. I just want the kids not to feel left out. I think that is the key to this whole process, is we're looking for a way for inclusiveness. And I don't want parents giving schools a hard time in June saying, well, you didn't offer anything to the virtual kids, because that's going to happen, even if they don't take advantage of it. I feel like
I've already gotten emails from parents that are like, my kids are never coming in. How do I submit a portrait? And I was like, working on it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can still use the Google Forms. You can still use your photo image site. This just takes out, I think, some of the workload for you once it's set up. you know. And we're all so OCD. Most yearbook advisors like to control things, and it's hard to.
Okay.
We don't like to give up control, and I think that's why this scares us a little bit. Is like, oh, they're just going to submit their own. Oh, they're just going to wear something besides what I wanted them to wear. Oh, you know.
But look, I'm going to share my screen. Look how cute this is, you guys. This is a little elementary school, and this teacher has been collecting, and their backgrounds are all different, but it's cute.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're so afraid of it, but look.
They're so cute.
Aren't they?
Little kids are cute though.
But and most of them, I mean, you know, the one thing about is, you know, you can crop them in the portrait section. But
Wait,
this
oh my
kind
gosh, scroll back down. That kid had sunglasses on. That was
yeah,
precious.
we're leaving it too. The teachers decided to leave it. We
That is
laughed about it too. We thought it was so cute.
Oh my God.
It's just so funny because before we would have freaked out, like, oh, they don't have all the gray background, or life has changed.
And I think it's going to make the pages more interesting. Like, you see so much more of the kid's personality this way. And I don't have to put this picture in the yearbook.
See, Sam's elementary pictures always had the forced boy smile.
Well, Caleb needed to wear like a 3-piece suit to his pictures.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
Did not make him do that.
They're
That's
two
his
types
choice.
of people.
Yeah, they're very opposite. We call this at my mom's house. She's 87 and she still has our school pictures up. We call it the wall of shame. Because you go up there and you look and you're really cute, and then you go to middle school and you're not cute anymore. And then, like, you know, oh my God, who let me wear some of those outfits for picture day?
Let's take some questions. This is going to be a compilation of questions from both the 10 a.m. meeting and the 2 p.m. meeting.
I know I uploaded my student list. I can upload a teacher list because I've had teachers that are like, can we add pictures to our portraits? And I was like, sure, I don't care. So if I upload a teacher list, is that going to mess anything up?
I don't think so. You're going to ask Wolf?
Well, okay. So I asked Woofy today, I said, how about if I send it out to students and I don't get anything, and now I want to send it out to parents? And he was checking to see if I could upload a second list, but I think it deletes the first list.
Ooh.
But I'm going to ask him, but this is what we can do, Clark. We could take your Excel file that you upload.
It wouldn't be the same names though. So do you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be teacher names versus student names. So it wouldn't be overriding anything, right?
So what I'm saying is you take your Excel file,
Mm-hmm.
and because I'll ask him if it just adds to them, but we may have to do it outside of Yearbook Avenue. We may have to take your Excel file, add the teachers at the bottom with their email,
Mm-hmm.
and then re-upload it. You know what I'm saying? If it replaces.
Yeah, just combine them. I think that would work perfect.
So just like in the future, because Jostens own this technology isn't necessarily going away, right? Because
No, this
my
will
kids
be
did so much
forever.
work on some of those Erasmus videos, and now they're gone. And we have them because they're in a Google Drive. But I was
Because
so
HP
sad.
owned those. We didn't own it. You know, it was just a platform. But
Okay.
this we own, and it will not go away. It'll
Excellent.
probably just get bigger and bigger as our digital crazy world
Yeah.
emerges.
After our deadline, we can still edit what they've submitted. So if they like try to sneak something in last minute, we can be like, nope. So that when
Once
the
you
final
close
gets
it down,
there,
like you can take out any pictures you want.
even after the deadline is for them to submit, right? I
Oh
can-
yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Until you submit the book, you are in control. No, literally, if you're choosing to use the parent list and I already have it, I don't need anything from you. I've actually already downloaded your parent list to re-upload it to Yearbook Plus. But if you're using student emails, I do not have those.
Okay, but since I use Monarch, that's not an issue, is it, with this at all?
I don't have a clue. Does it make a difference?
It should be available for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know, you were scaring me when you were clicking on so many things inside Yearbook Avenue, because you know, I don't use everything inside Yearbook Avenue.
Right.
That
You would
the other
still
people
upload
do.
your list in Yearbook Avenue, but it would still work in your book.
Okay,
Do we want to put these pictures alongside of like the portrait pictures and just have them not unified, like
I don't, I think it's going to depend on what you get. Like you might get some really good portraits in this. Like parents might have really good pictures of their kids. I think that's going to be a personal call, Carrie. Me, if I was doing the yearbook, I'd probably look at the portraits and say, these are not that much different. They're just as good or as close to the others. And I'd run them all together because I feel like right now the kids are so divided and they're so not together that I guess I would tend to go to the side of putting them all in one place.
I agree.
Because, that just because somebody's virtual doesn't mean they're not part of what's going on.
Right. Will the backgrounds be the same or the background will be whatever the picture takes?
Whatever the picture is. But because they're cropping themselves, hopefully you won't get fish tanks and I don't know, other things in the background. I mean, we're going to monitor as best we can with you as well and look, but I think because it's so controlled what they can do, it's going to be better than them just picking any old picture and send to you. And Melissa, that's a good question. I think their head sizes are going to be pretty close because of the way they're asking the crop, but you can crop the pictures as well in your portrait section.
And if they're a little different, I think it'll still be okay.
Yeah. I mean, we could still, have you guys always had that picture of that one girl in the portrait section who had real tall hair? Like she had a bun really tall. And the photographers had to go further out to take her picture to get her hair in. And so her head's really little compared to everybody else. It happens every year.
Kristen knows. Ask Kristen. So question, this is a good question. Can we include staff? And the answer is yes, but we do need their emails because if they don't get an email from us, they can't do the verification process, correct?
Correct. And if you're talking about your yearbook staff, you can make as many of your yearbook staff, what do you call them, collaborators on your admin site so they can help you go through the pictures and stuff if you want to.
I'm just so excited about this yearbook and just want, the parents to understand this is something that's going to be in a time capsule. This yearbook will be in a time capsule. And that's what I want, them all to know that, oh yeah, I don't want to send in a picture. Well, oh my God, this is history,
And I tell them that all the time
about this year's yearbook and to see the difference. And, I do the elementary. So to me, mine is not as difficult as middle school and high school. But I'm just so excited about all the pictures I'm getting. I hope Sarah's looking at my pictures now because I did ask her if she could look through the ones I've uploaded. And I told the kids it didn't have to be a white background. You can be outside. And I just love the difference. And, that's what's going to be so great about this year's yearbook.
I really think it's worth trying. If you haven't done portraits, it's worth trying because I think the parents are going to like it. The phone thing is real simple. They get a thing, they hold it up to their kid's face, click, hit a button, send, they're done. I'm a take a chance kind of girl over here. Let's just do it.